Okay, he's a bit tired, so we'll just drag him there instead. Bit of rotation, and I think we're good for our first game of the season. Oh, Jurgen, I've literally talked to you so much already this transfer window. Better not be rude. Jurgen, how's it going? Yeah, finally ready to get into the season after all those transfers. Like, feels kind of like we've bought half of Japan, but I think we're ready.
Yes, half of Japan and a sprinkle of Brazil. You kept me busy, that's for sure. But it was worth it. We've got this quote, now we just need the results.
Exactly, and I fully agree with you. I think we just go all in with the Gegenpress, high energy, high pressure, no half measures.
That's the spirit. If we're going down pressing, running, and squeezing the life out of them. The new boys will love it.
Yep, good call, Jurgen. So first up, we've got Zweigen Kanazawa. Not strong on paper. I don't want us getting complacent, but I think this is a team we could actually beat.
Agreed. Let's hit them hard right from the start. If we grab an early goal, it'll be the legs that give way under the gegenpress. And then there's Machida Zelvia. They'll be a much tougher nut to crack.
Yeah, they're supposed to be one of the top teams, so maybe we just see how that one goes, especially with players like Mitchell Duke.
Exactly, but keep that press. I want them gasping for air by the second half.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan, Jurgen. We're just going to go all out these two games, see what happens, and just be as aggressive as anything.
Remember, gegenpress isn't just a tactic, it's a lifestyle. High intensity from start to finish. And remind you, Nino, no fancy flicks unless we shri goes up, alright?
No worries, Jurgen. I'll try and do that, but he is Brazilian and he might have a mind of his own. But I'll get back in touch after the first month and we can do a little bit of a check-in on my results, okay?
Absolutely. Now get out there, make me proud, and let's show the teams that Omiya Ardija is here to run them ragged.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 2 of Red Bull KloppBot here on Sean Does FM with currently Omiya Ardija. I hope you're doing well, and coming up today we're going to play our first couple of games in charge here of this save in J2 2 away days. First up we take on Zweigen Kanazawa, and then we'll take on one of the preseason favourites here in J2, considering in real life they're actually in the top 5 of J1, and that is Machida Zelvia. But we've made our way forward to this point off the bickies today, bringing you guys through what the save is all about, introducing you guys to the KloppBot, and also we did a large majority of our work in the transfer window as well. So if you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. We did a fair bit of business, not in terms of actual net spend, but in terms of the amount of players who have come in and who have gone out. You can see it there. We did quite a bit during the course of that first month and a bit in charge here at Omiya Ardija, a team who it looks like in real life are going to be in J2 next season. And with this being a Jurgen Klopp save at Red Bull, it's really 2025, so they are in J2, which is actually what was the case when you start a game in FM24 anyway. But we've definitely changed the squad quite a bit, got rid of some older players there on the right-hand side, brought in quite a few new ones, so hopefully they'll adapt nicely to the Gegenpress the KloppBot does want us to play in today. We're going to play our first 2 games in charge here in J2, and it's going to start off by taking on a Zweigen Kanazawa. These guys are a team predicted to finish around about mid-table, albeit going and having a look at the season preview. That's a bit lower. They're down in 16th, while we previously were down in 17th before the transfer window. Then we did all those moves, and now we're predicted to finish smack bang in the middle of the table. So those transfers do mean we should be solid mid-table in our first season in charge here of the Red Squirrels. Still haven't been rebranded to be a Red Bull team just yet, seeing as they only got bought back in August in real life. But the first game definitely looks quite winnable for us in today's episode, before later on we take on that team up in second in terms of the season preview in Machida Zelvia. That could be a bit of a tough time for us, and to be fair, not the easiest start anyway, because we've got 2 away games to start things off. But in terms of our squad going into our first couple of games here at Omiya Ardija, a few tired boys off back of 4 preseason friendlies where we did pick up 3 wins, did lose a game there to a Hime, but to be fair, in all those games, even that one that we did lose, we were doing quite well in terms of stats. So hopefully that will carry over into his first couple of games that we are going to play. And unfortunately, in that game we lost, we did suffer an injury, which is going to hurt us for the first couple of games of the season. Our first choice left back in Shunya Suzuki, he is out for around about 4 weeks with a damaged kneecap. So it does mean that currently we're a little bit light in terms of left back. It does mean one of our new signings, I'm just going to go over and remember his name because we made so many during the course of yesterday's episode. Takuto Minami, he'll be starting instead of him, and also just resting some players, as I said, on a heavy workload off the back of that pre-season, but Minami comes in to start at left back with that injury to Suzuki. To be fair, he's got more potential anyway, so that might help him fulfill that potential good run of games here early on in our time in charge. And also a couple of players with injury concerns going into the season. One of them, our backup goalkeeper in Wakabayashi. Hopefully get another one of those to join us during the course of today's episode. And more importantly, Anhalodi, he picked up a little niggle in the build-up to this game. He's one of our star foreign players here who will be starting for us out on the left wing, but unfortunately, he's not quite on a full green heart, having come back from a pre-season niggle. So he'll be starting from the bench for this first game, but given the season preview, hopefully can start things off here with at least a point away from home. Now, on my previous series here on the channel, we did things called bus trips for away games that we did play sometimes. I don't know if we want to do those on this series, just because I think some other YouTuber was doing that sort of stuff over in Japan, some small guy. Don't really want to tread on his toes, but instead, we do have the KloppBot, and he sometimes does like to have a bit of fun, as we've seen before, with some photos when he's been on holiday and also celebrating titles back when manager at Liverpool. So instead of doing a full-out bus trip, making our way from a hotel, the actual stadium itself, I think for this series, what we might do is something slightly different, but a little bit similar. It's time for KloppBot's Hotspots. And here we go, so you can see how we're going to step things up for KloppBot's Hotspots. Here you can see we've got a brilliant picture of the sort of mood we want our KloppBot to be in for what we're playing here. We've told him 3 spots to go visit on these away days and also a hotel as well. Let's just see what he comes up with. I've put down here, leave me some links as well, so this should make things nice and quick compared to those bus trips we did back on the New Zealand Build Nation. Let's see if this goes well or if it's a train wreck. If it's a train wreck, this might be the only time we do this during the course of the entire series, but let's see what the KloppBot comes up with here for his hotspots for this game at the Kanazawa Stadium. Here we go, he's doing a bit of searching here. Let's see what he comes up with. Now for a hotel, the Hotel Nikko Kanazawa, that's where he wants us to go. 3 places to visit: Kinrokuen Garden, Kanazawa Castle. The castle sounds like fun. Will he find somewhere interesting apart from that? He wants us to go to a museum. I was kind of hoping he might find bars and food and stuff like that, but maybe I'll sort that out for our second game in today's episode. But the hotel, let's try and see what's up with this place, the Hotel Nikko Kanazawa. They do have some nice vision on the website there, and also they've got some food, so maybe KloppBot knew about that. That's why he hasn't recommended any eating or drinking places later on for our trip here to take on Zweigen Kanazawa. We'll make our way down here and see what this hotel does look like. A landmark of a special day and base for your travels. 30 floors, guest rooms located about the 17th, bit of a tower. It does look quite nice. Not too sure if we can see a stadium nearby, but indeed they've got a restaurant and bar, so maybe the KloppBot knew that. That's why we don't need any of that when we do our team bonding stuff here in Kanazawa. The rooms, they look quite tidy. They've got a banquet room, they've got all sorts here. That looks like a pretty good spot. So if you play to the KloppBot there, I think he's done quite well. Quick look at the restaurant and bar, because really that's what we care about, and there's lots of them. I think we'll be okay in terms of food and drinks here inside of our hotel. But now let's see those free activities or places you want us to go visit. And the first thing he recommended was the Kinrokuen Garden, one of the most beautiful and historic gardens in Japan. Enjoy a peaceful walk through seasonal flora, tea houses and koi ponds. Let's see what this place looks like in terms of their website. Obviously I can't actually read too much of this. Maybe we switch over into English mode. That should be more helpful. There's even a movie we could watch, but there's what it looks like. Quite picturesque from what I can tell. There's what it must look like there. Maybe in winter. This game is in February, so not too sure if that'll be the case in Japan at that time of year, but there's a little bit of a pond there we can hop across. A couple of grainy photos there in black and white, which certainly don't help us out too much, and to be fair, there's not many photos at all, so maybe that's a place you need to go visit and actually see just how nice it does look. Maybe that's what they're trying to do here with their website. Second up, they want us to go to the Kanazawa Castle, a short walk from the actual city, an iconic castle which offers a glimpse into Japan's feudal era with restored architecture and lovely gardens. It's perfect for both history buffs and casual visitors. It looks like Jurgen does quite like his history. Here's the castle. This is the only website I could find. It's slowly being reconstructed, so not too sure about this recommendation here from Jurgen, especially at 3.4 stars. To be fair now, I'm starting to wonder if he's just pinched the rankings from this website here, seeing as this was ranked number 2. Maybe the garden before was number 1, but there you can see a bit more of what's going on with this castle. I mean, it's a castle. There are some quite nice gardens nearby, fair play. That looks like a decent pond. But yeah, it's a castle, so far doing a lot of garden walks here for our first trip away as a team. And next up, we've got the 21st Century Museum. We'll go back to KloppBot's description of contemporary art for a modern touch. This one, we're going to visit a circular museum known for its innovative exhibitions and unique installations. So let's see what this has going on. To be fair, it does look quite modern. Let's just go down and see what's going on there at the moment. There's some stuff happening inside it. The ecology of empathy as well as drifting in the city. Hopefully some of the boys enjoy that. Not too sure about KloppBot's first trip away here. Some of the plans that he has made. To be fair, he did find a pretty good hotel. Hopefully all these plans get our boys bonded nice and quickly with all those new signings that we have made. We can pick up a win over Zweigen Kanazawa. And here are the team sheets for our first game in charge here at Omiya Ardija, taking on Zweigen Kanazawa. They are going with a 4-4-2 based on season preview. This is a team that we should be beating, albeit a couple of first teamers not playing. We've got Okamoto at right back, also Machida coming in at centre back. We've got some changes as well. Abe in box-to-box midfield because Dimas a little bit tired. And as well as that, a bit further forward, we've got Okai in central attacking midfield and Yamazaki at left wing, considering that injury to Anhaloti. We'll just switch this over to key highlights because we're actually currently on extended. We'll see if this amounts to anything. It won't. Hopefully they can start the season off nicely in Kanazawa. And to be fair, it hasn't taken long for our first proper highlight of this game. Just 3 minutes in and we play a ball out there to Gonzalez on our right hand side. Might need to up the speed here because currently kind of looks like we are playing in slow motion. Abe, they're looking for the top left corner, but decent save there from the goalkeeper from Zweigen Kanazawa. Today we're in the white and now we have a corner. We take it short. Minami plays that back out to Okai, who floats it far post there. Looking for Abe. Yamazaki gets brought down. It looked like a pretty clear-cut penalty. That one not given. Let me just up here the highlight speed. But that's a good start from us on the front foot early. But unfortunately, decent save there on the chance from Abe, and it's still 0-0, albeit only a few minutes later, and the opposition are down the other end there, and Atani gets played in behind beautifully there. Hayato Atani will put that one past Tagashi into the top left corner, and that is not the start we were after away from home against the team that really we should be picking up something against. A well-worked routine here from a throw-in. Jefferson Bayano there is on the ball in there. Atani's just a little bit on the right-hand side. Our defenders don't quite pick him up. It's a very well-weighted pass, that one. He gets in behind and puts that one away nicely. Beautifully sitting there on the shoulders of Abe and Minami, and Atani gives them a 1-0 lead. And we go just past the 20-minute mark for the next highlight of this game. A free kick in our favour. Nakano floating that one towards the far post there, albeit still a wee way out. But Gonzalez on a yellow card gets brought down. So a chance for us here to score our first goal of the save. Just seeing how good Gonzalez is from the spot. He looks okay. And thankfully, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. It's a bit of a lucky first goal, that one, because really, they didn't need to do that from set piece. Not too sure how good our set piece is going to be here at Omiya Ardija. But thankfully, Gonzalez earned us that penalty and puts it away to make it 1-1. And it's been pretty quiet off the back of that equaliser, but with 5 minutes to go here in the first half, there is a free kick to the opposition. They try and make their way up from the back there, but good work down our right-hand side to win that ball back. Urakami, our first choice centre-back going to this season, he plays it back to the goalkeeper, and there to Matiki. Third choice usually it would be Tabira, but he's on a heavy workload going into this game. Nice pass there though from Minami, and he finds Nakano, but unfortunately just misses the target there, looking for that top right corner. Big chance for us late there to make it 2-1 going into half-time, but thankfully bounced back from that early goal that we conceded before then actually had the first chance where Abe forced a good save out of the opposition goalkeeper. But ever since that first goal, really been on the front foot, albeit that XG obviously from the penalty will make that look a little bit better. Now Gonzalez on a yellow card's a little bit of concern here going into the second half. And also Yamazaki going fairly on a 6.4. I think we're going to bring on here Anhaloti at left wing. He's a little bit tired, but hopefully one of our star foreigners can give us some impact. Hopefully help us kick on and win this game in the second half. 1-1 at half-time in our season opener. And it hasn't taken too long for the first highlight here of the second half, less than 10 minutes into it. A throw-in for Zweigen Kanazawa. Thankfully try and clear the lines there quite poorly. And Gonzalez, he gets that ball up to Nakano and he curls that one into the bottom right corner. Missed a big chance for us late. in that first half off the back of a really good ball there from Minami into the box. That one looked a lot tougher, but good work there from Ohashi, tracking back Gonzalez. We did leave on despite being on that yellow card. Thankfully, there finds our star striker in Nakano, and that time he hits the target, curves that one around there, Nakano and goal. Good work there from our striker from just outside the box to give us a 2-1 lead. And we're just gone past the hour mark now, and it might be time for us to make another sub here because our right back today in Okamoto is struggling. So again, going to bring on a first choice foreigner off of the bench. So Figueiredo will bring on here for Okamoto with a half hour left, still 2-1 in front. And pretty much as soon as he's come on here, Figueiredo gets a touch of the action with a throw for us inside of the final third. Gets that ball back, but that ball he's tried to play forward there, not too good. But thankfully Gonzalez tidies things up and keeps us on the attack. Plays a ball there into the mixer, but they do clear their lines there, do Zweigen, but we get that ball back and are still on the attack. Abe out there to Okai. It goes back to Matigi back in there for Abe. Nice ball over the top there out left. To be fair, we are looking quite slick when we do have the ball here with the slight adaptation to the 4-2-3-1 and Abe, who is shifted forward for that box-to-box midfield role, which Jurgen does want us to play with. A nice curving effort there from a pretty tight angle to make it 3-1. Have just noticed there too, our next opposition, they're winning their first game, so it could be a tough one coming up for us in the second one of today's episode. But Abe there, good finish to get that one past Nakano from an angle we really didn't have any right to be scoring that one, but that's a cushion goal for us with 25 minutes left in this game. Gonzalez, I'd like to take off on that yellow card, but to be fair, not really too many options of players we can bring on in his place. So I think Gonzalez might have to stay out there. Instead, though, might take off Ohashi on a 6.6 for one of our new signings in Wataru Tanaka off the back of grabbing that cushion goal. In fact, I'll highlight before that sub does go through, and the opposition here might be back on the attack. Maybe the sub coming up might not be the best idea, but they hold the ball here in midfield, play one over the top, and Figueiredo does win that one for us. Plays the ball forward, takes us a while to react, but thankfully Okai does pick that one up, squeeze it across there for Ohashi, who takes on the shot, but that one does get blocked pretty well by a defender, albeit are still going to see the corner, which we float far post, but unfortunately headed away there from Jefferson. Tanaka gets out to get us back on the attack. Minami back to Matigi and to Urakami. We are still going forward here, so this highlight might actually amount to something. Urakami out there to Figueiredo, floats this one far post, and a good chance there for Angelotti, but unfortunately that one comes off the woodwork. We're looking dangerous and have a 2-goal lead. Yeah, we just made our way into the last 20 minutes of this game. We are now down the wrong end here for a throw-in to Zweigen Kanazawa, but thankfully they try and float that one far post, and Nagashi, he can tidy that one up to get beaten early on, but since then he's been pretty solid, albeit hasn't had a heck of a lot of work to do. He pumps that one deep looking for Angelotti. Unfortunately, they do win that ball back there though, do the home team, and Atani on a yellow does get that ball, but good way from Angelotti to win that one back for us, and that ball over the top is quite dangerous for Nakano. He was onside too, but unfortunately that one comes off the inside of the post. It doesn't quite make its way into the back of the net. Still 3-1 in front though, and I think now we need to take off Gonzalez on that yellow card, and especially a red card. Also Okai, so we'll bring on Juninho in his place, and we probably actually need to switch formations here. We might bring on Osawa for Gonzalez and switch a bit of a 4-2-2-2. So we're going to put Osawa up front and see how he might get on here without a right winger the last couple of minutes of this game. But hopefully we'll be okay with that 2-goal lead. And early signs suggest that might be working because we've got a corner here off the back of that sub. Unfortunately, can't quite link up there at the near post. They try and clear it away, don't do a very good job. And thankfully, Figueiredo might be able to get us back here on the attack with his fresh legs. Gets it back there from Urakami, and now we play that one into midfield. But unfortunately, that pass not on the mark there from Tanaka. Thankfully, we get it back, and now Nakano, lovely ball there from one of his teammates. But again, that one comes off the woodwork, really had some chances now to put this game to bed inside the last couple of highlights we've seen of this game. And now we are down the other end here for a free kick to Zweigen Kanazawa. Lovely ball over the top there too. And Kimura will beat Higashi, but thankfully he was offsides there. Bit of a warning shot from our opposition, and right off the back of that too, they have a highlight trying to make their way out from the back with a goal kick. So far, keeping the ball quite nicely down the right-hand side. To be fair, if it was them, I'll be going us down their left-hand side, our right, with the fact that we did take off Gonzalez, but they're on the attack here yet again. And this time, Sugiura will beat Higashi, and I think now we might just go back to the 4-2-3-1 we were using, because it does look like, even though those two strikers should work better with Asawa not really being able to play right wing. It's not really helping us defensively, so we're going to just move back to our usual formation that Jurgen did suggest, and also start to do a little bit of time-wasty stuff, albeit the goal actually won't stand because he was offside again. So 2 goals there ruled out for offside from our opposition here in Zweigen Kanazawa, albeit they might be on the attack yet again, but good work there. We break that one up. Tanaka has that ball briefly, but unfortunately he loses it, and now numbers here for Zweigen Kanazawa. Down the other end, Kimura squares that one for Jefferson Bayano, who set up their first goal. He'll put that one away. To be fair, that looked more offside than the goals that actually got pulled up from what I saw before, but unfortunately, they eventually grab a goal back in this game, which will make things quite interesting with only 1 minute left of regular time. Plus, let's just see how long. 5 minutes of added time. So unfortunately, there is time here for the home team to take a point from us, but thankfully we hold on. A couple of subs there at halftime did look like they made a difference. Nakano, he got us going in the second half there with a nice curving effort from just outside of the box. Gonzalez got us a penalty in the first half off the back of conceding early there to Atani. And Abe coming in for Dimas in this game. He scored the goal to put it really beyond doubt there. With 25 minutes left, they grab one late there through Bayano off back of 2 goals previously being ruled out through offside. But that is a pretty solid opening day win for us. Stats-wise, does look like we were the better team in that game, especially second half. The first half, really, that penalty made that one a little bit hard to judge just how well we were doing based on our XG. But a good start for us on the opening match day, albeit next up, looks like we're going to be taking on a much stronger outfit in Machida Zelvia. So good win for us there in our opening match of the J2 League season, albeit a bit of bad news off the back of that, because unfortunately, our backup goalkeeping target, Omiya, he's signed for Sagan Tosu. So unfortunately, that means that instead, I think we have to go with our third choice there in terms of a backup goalkeeper. He's still down here, as we did put a bid for him on a free just in case that did happen. But it looks like Haruki Nishimura will be coming in as a second or third choice goalkeeper. To be fair, not too sure if he's any better than Wakabayashi already at the club, but we'll make sure that he now joins the club off the back of our other target Umeda, going to Sagan Tosu instead, one of the big favourites here for the J2 League. But there is our backup goalkeeper coming in for Shimura, who we did let go of during the course of that opening episode yesterday. But that really should be most of our signings now done going to this new season. And now we've got an extra goalkeeper in the Shimura. And we're gone for a couple of days and we're about to take on Machida Zelvia here in our second game of the J2 League season. This one definitely going to be a lot tougher against the team to finish second in the league away from home. So again, shortly we'll have a look at the KloppBot's hotspots. But before then, have put a bid in for a right winger, because he did pop up for our scouts. And I'd actually think that maybe we could use a couple of extra players, because we've still got a couple of spots actually spare in our registration. So we asked the KloppBot, and he did say that maybe we should put a bid in on a free for Nagi Kawatani. So let's see how he goes. He's currently on trial at Renault for Yamaguchi, but hopefully he decides to join us with 2-star current ability and 4-star potential, only a wage of £600 a week. And if we go back, you can definitely see that we can afford that, but he might just be useful if we suffer injuries in terms of that right wing position. Also, maybe someone like Yamada, he could go into central attacking midfield or one of those other many positions that he can cover as well. So might be one more signing coming in for this upcoming season here at Omiya Ardija. But we are about to take on here Machida Zelvia in our second game of the season. He's currently below us on the table, but did pick up a win as well on the opening day, 2-0 over Renault for Yamaguchi, who we just saw before with that potential signing being on trial with those guys. But this team is pretty good in real life. They're doing quite a good job up in J1. So I imagine this will be a lot tougher of a task for us here in the second game of today's episode. The captain, Shuto Inaba, he's 31 years old. He does look pretty good with that 4.5-star current ability and potential. The vice captain, Shota Fujio, a striker who actually does look pretty darn good at only 23 years old. Also, they got Yuki Soma as their key player, a right winger come left winger with 5-star current ability and potential, albeit he's injured. So maybe their key player instead might be the Australian I'm a little bit familiar with from his time back in the A-League, Mitchell Duke. He's 34 years old these days, but does have 11 goals for the Socceroos, at least in terms of this time in game. But he's a bit of a big unit. He could prove a bit tricky for us in this upcoming game. But thankfully, I think we're a bit closer to a first choice 11 for this one, with some players like Angelotti having a bit more time to recover off the back of that preseason injury that he did pick up, and also a couple of our regular first choices who set out that first game should now be available for this one as well. But again, it's an away trip, so let's see if this time the KloppBot's hotspots are a little bit more entertaining. And here we go, we've only got some places to visit for this one, seeing it's only about a 1 hour trip from where we are in Saitama to the stadium anyway, so don't need to actually stay at a hotel. But this time we did ask the KloppBot for a couple of places that might be a bit more fun, like that picture that we referenced up at the top of this chat we're having with him. And thankfully, I think this time he's been a bit more sensible, and especially the first one, the Machida Squirrel Garden, because of course, we're the red squirrels. This makes a lot of sense for us. Get ready for an adorable experience here at the Squirrel Garden, where we can interact with over 200 friendly squirrels, along with some other small animals like guinea pigs and rabbits. We don't care about them, we want all the squirrels. Apparently, it feels more like a playground than a zoo. Let's go check out this place. It looks adorable. KloppBot, you're on your game now. That first away day was honestly a little bit average, maybe for something like a retirement group, but this looks a lot more suitable for a team called the Red Squirrels. Unfortunately, not too many photos that we can see here, but still, it looks pretty good. We'll just go back and see if more photos pop up on Google, and maybe that's what we go for, a squirrel garden. It looks pretty darn good, so thumbs up there for the KloppBot. That is a much more suitable recommendation, especially for a team called the Red Squirrels. There's even turtles. That's a bit interesting, but that looks like a heck of a good time. Unfortunately, his second recommendation, can't really check on it too much, but it's just shopping street, and no doubt all the boys, they'll enjoy some shopping, as apparently the Machida Nakami's shopping street has it all. A retro shopping area, reminiscent of Japan's Showa era, unique food stalls, small shops and charming bars. I do like the sound of that. It's got ramen, curry, taiyaki, whatever that is. I'm keen on that. I think KloppBot's starting to get what we want here for these away days, and food up some indoor entertainment, maybe even a bit of team bonding through some physical activity. We're off to the Round 1 Stadium, a complex that offers a range of games from bowling and karaoke, which I'd argue isn't actually a game, to arcade games and sports like billiards. We'll go check out the website. Let's see what pops up here. It almost looks like it's a little bit of an arcade, but apparently in there somewhere there's karaoke as well as bowling, so it should be quite interesting. Oh my god, there's Transformers. This is a lot better than what we had for our first away day. So I think this time KloppBot has got the memo a little bit better. Also, there's batting cages if we want to pretend that we're baseballers, and I can try my hand at that instead of cricket. Maybe I'll be better at that also. This is a proper arcade actually, isn't it? It's got racing games, shooting games, all sorts of stuff, claw machines. Happy days for the boys here at Omiya Ardija before we take on Machida Zelvia, because we're probably about to get smashed by a team who in real life are up in J1. And here are the team sheets for this tough clash away here, where we take on Machida Zelvia. Yet again, they are going with a 4-4-2. As we mentioned earlier, Mitchell Duke might be someone to keep an eye out there. Up front, the former Central Coast and Western Sydney Wanderers man. In terms of us, we've gone back to first choice at centre back with Tabira coming in, also Anhalori at left wing, and as well as that, we've got Dimas in the box-to-box midfield role, albeit we have switched out at right wing. Yamada comes in for Gonzalez, who hasn't quite recovered from that game. We did pick up a yellow card quite early, but to be fair, on paper, a stronger team than we put out for our opening game, so hopefully we can keep this one respectable against the J1 team in real life. And just shy the 10-minute mark here, we get an early corner here. Okai will try and put this one far post, and it does there. Get a little bit helter-skelter, but the goalkeeper there in Yamaguchi, he pockets that one nice and easily, rolls that one out there to a defender. I think that might be a European name, but a pass the infield looking for Mitchell Duke. Tabira will cut that out. We play it up, and Nakano will chip that one over Yamaguchi. This time Nakano puts him in his pocket, and he gets a nice dance going there. Maybe the karaoke might have influenced that one, but that is a brilliant start for us here. Unfortunately, Minimies dropped down to a red hard early, albeit already recovered to an orange. Still no left back options on the bench, really. He's going to have to stay out there despite going down to that heart quite early. Brilliant finish that from Nakano off the back of some good work there from Tabira. Played it forward to Okai, and that pass is right on the money. Chips that one over Yamaguchi to give us a surprisingly early 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, only a few minutes on from that opening goal, we have suffered our first big injury in game here of the season. Okai is going to be forced from the field. Juninho is a better player, but has been on a heavy workload early this season. So hopefully he won't get injured coming off the bench as well. Just checking here on Minami, we really don't have many good options on the bench. So probably going to have to leave him out there maybe until half time, because Okamoto can do a job at left back. But definitely Juninho coming on here for Okai. Thankfully, we're still 1-0 in front. In fact, off the back of that, there is a highlight here. We're trying to make our way out from the back. That pass, not quite on the money for Juninho, but thankfully, he still finds Yamada coming in for this game for Gonzalez. We'll try and float this one far post there, looking for Unholy. Unfortunately, can't quite find the marks. Eric gets the ball here for Machida Zelvia. It goes back there for Okuyama, or then back up to Eric, and he plays it forward to big old Mitchell Duke, the Australian. It goes back there to their midfielders, but currently putting them under some good pressure here with our gegenpress, and thankfully just do enough there to keep hold of the ball. It's a lovely ball forward there for Juninho, who somehow gets it back inside the box again. It gets chipped over Yamaguchi, who's looking like he might be pocket-sized the way he's going in this game, but it's a brilliant start for us now. We make it 2-0 just past the 20-minute mark. Damas, that's a wonderful ball up there for Juninho, who just there keeps the ball despite the best efforts of some defenders there for the home team, but only halfway through the first half, and already a bit of an upset on here as we have a 2-0 lead, albeit now we're down the other end here for a free kick. Maybe the J1 league team from real life is going to kick into gear, albeit that's a big back pass, and Yamaguchi so far doesn't look like he's having the best day in goal, albeit that time does actually do what he's supposed to, but sliding tackle there from Damas, it's a good one too, putting pressure on big Mitch Duke. Now Juninho will make his way forward. He finds Yamada, goes out there to Okamoto at right back. He'll square that one for Angelotti, who picks up his first goal of the new season, and we're 3-0 up inside 25 minutes against the team who are one of the promotion favourites in J2 this season. Maybe we've built a pretty good team here at Omiya Ardija, and the KloppBot, his tactic looks to be really clicking after a bit of a scratchy performance in our first game, this time taking on a team who are supposed to be a lot better, and we're already 3-0 in front, albeit now maybe it's time for them to come back at us. But good tackle there, and we're back on the attack. Nakano plays that one out to Angelotti down our left-hand side, squeezes it across the face of goal for Yamada, who can't quite hit the target, might have even come off the woodwork, but early stages all over our opposition here, and we're 3-0 in front. And the highlights continue to be in our favour here, just past the half-hour mark. A corner, a diving hit, a clear there, but Yamada gets us back on the attack. Damas to Ohashi for Okamoto, who takes on the shot, forces there an attempt at a save from Yamaguchi. Didn't reach it, but didn't need to, as that one gets blasted over the bar. But so far, we've been well and truly on top here of our highly rated opposition. We try and put some pressure there on Mitchell Duke from a throw, but this time they keep hold of the ball, and Chiba there does get in behind. He tries to chip Higashi. That one, though, comes off the woodwork, so maybe a bit of luck there in our favour, because we've definitely done that to their goalkeeper a couple of times. So Hashi picks up a yellow card, and Minami on that red heart. So probably going to need to make some subs here going to the second half, but I think we can afford to with a 3-0 lead. Some really good attacking work from us in this game. Nakano, Juninho, and Anaholi with the goals. Those are three of our better players. Thankfully, they've stepped up in this one when we need them to. We will switch Okamoto to left back and bring on Figueiredo for the second half of this game. And also we'll take off Hohashi on that yellow card for Tanaka. But apart from that, I think we're pretty happy with how this one's going. 3-0 up over Machida Zelvia. In early stages of the second half, here a chance for the home team to get back in this game with a free kick, which Drezovic, he will take, looking for the top right corner, not too far away. It does force an attempted save there out of Higashi, but thankfully it's off target. Still 3-0 in front. And we just made our way into the last half hour of this game, and I think it's time for us now to make our last couple of subs. Gonzalez can come on, or Angelotti will take him off, dropping down to a bit of a deeper yellow heart coming back from a recent injury. And also let's take off Nakano while we have the chance here for our backup striker in Osawa. Hopefully we'll still hold on to a 3-goal lead. And only a couple of minutes on from those subs, we are now down the other end here for a corner, and Okuyama will put that one away past Higashi at the near post. Thankfully Higashi claims that ball, so they can't get a quick restart here. But to be fair, they still have a fair bit of work to do, but unfortunately our near post defence there, not quite as good as you'd hope, and Higashi, he gets beaten, and they make it 3-1, albeit a highlight straight from the restart. Let's hope that we might get back on the attack. We play that one forward there to Yamada, who drops back quite nicely, and it goes back to Urakami, but they're back in this game somewhat now Machida Zelvia. Let's hope that that's their only goal and we can claim here a pretty big 3 points early in the season. We can start it off with 6 points from 6 away from home. That would be very encouraging signs for our chances here in the J2. Gonzalez squeezed that one nicely for Yamada, but unfortunately that one gets blocked, and then it's a pretty cynical foul there from Tabira, but somehow doesn't pick up a yellow. We're still at 2 goals in front. And only a few minutes on from the previous chance there for us to maybe make it 4-1. There's a throw-in, albeit it's a bit of poor work from us there trying to make our way out from the back, and Eric starts to make his way forward down the right-hand side, plays that one back there to Anaba, gets it back a goal here for the opposition, and this game is well and truly back on, especially as they are supposed to be one of the better teams in this league. But so far the Gegenpress is doing a pretty good job at keeping these guys in check. Let's hope our players will get a bit more used to it during the course of the rest of the season, but maybe they don't need to. A good interception that from Juninho. He looks discreet, it gets disrupted, goes back out there to Gonzalez, looking for the top right corner, but that one comes off the woodwork. Definitely still on the front foot in terms of the game overall, and we have a 3-1 lead as we make our way to the last 10 minutes of this game. Yamada is really struggling on a 6.1, but no subs left, and to be fair, has been quite useful to give players like Angelotti and Gonzalez a bit less game time in this one. But 3 minutes of added time, that's going to be a very impressive victory in our second game here in charge of the Red Squirrels. Complete domination against the team who in real life are doing a pretty blooming good job up in J1. One of the favourites to go up there at the end of this season in the save, but that's a big win. Let's hope that injured Okai isn't too serious, but the KloppBot's hotspots being a bit more fun there might have helped us pick up a big win, 3-1 over one of the promotion favourites in Machida Zelvia. So a brilliant start to our time here in charge of the Red Squirrels in the J2 League here with Omiya Ardija. We picked up that win over Zweigen Kanazawa as you probably would have expected, but then a more impressive win over Machida Zelvia. That's certainly surprising, albeit it has come at a cost. We'll just see how bad it is. And Riku Okai, broken ankle, he's out for 3 to 4 months once we do send him to a specialist. So it does mean that maybe that extra signing that we're planning on making in Kawatani could be quite useful, because as we said, that might mean we can instead move Yamada into central attacking midfield as the backup to Juninho. So maybe that was a bit of good foreplanning from us there with that injury that we have just suffered. But despite that, that's a brilliant start to the J2 season. Let's hope it continues before we come back for tomorrow's episode for a couple of games in March. But if you enjoyed our first couple of games on pitch of the save here with Omiya Ardija in the J2 League, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. As I said, tomorrow we'll come back in March. Or just see what games might be interesting that we can come back before we do start in the J-League Cup. But those first couple of games we've got in the first round are against the team from the third tier, so I think we can probably skip over that one. We might come back though, it might again be 2 away days, but Imabari are in real life the team coming up from J3 this season alongside Omiya Ardija if the table stays the way it looks like currently. So that might be an interesting team to compare ourselves against early on in the season. And also, before then we take on Bempolu Kofu, and I'm pretty sure those guys were predicted to be up there, the media prediction of 6th on their club info page. We might come back tomorrow, see how we're getting on and what the KloppBot's hotspots are for those games against Bempolu Kofu as well as Imabari. So until then, hopefully we continue our good form from those first couple of games. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.